In the ancient land of Uz, there lived a man unlike any other. His name was Job. He was not a king, he was not a warrior, yet his name was known far and wide. For Job was a man of integrity, a man of honor, and above all, a man who feared God. He walked in righteousness, he avoided evil. His heart was pure. God himself looked upon Job and found him blameless. Job's life was filled with blessings. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. His home was filled with laughter, joy, and peace. His lands stretched across the horizon. Thousands of sheep grazed under his care. Hundreds of camels traveled his trade routes. His servants were many. His wealth was great. But it was not his riches that made him great. It was his faith. Every morning, Job would rise before the sun. He would pray. He would offer sacrifices to God, not only for himself, but for his children. For Job feared that even unknowingly, his children might have sinned in their hearts. He loved God deeply. He trusted him completely, and God was pleased with Job. But far beyond the earth, in the unseen realm of heaven, something was about to happen. A gathering had formed before God's throne. Angels stood in his presence, and among them was one who came with a different purpose. Satan, the accuser, the challenger of faith. God looked upon Satan and spoke. "Where have you come from?" Satan replied, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth in it." Then God said something remarkable. "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one like him on earth. He is blameless and upright. He fears God and avoids evil." Satan's eyes narrowed. He answered with cold confidence, "Does Job fear God for nothing? You have blessed him. You have protected him. You have given him wealth, family, and prosperity. But take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you." The challenge had been made. Satan believed Job's faith was not real. He believed Job only loved God because his life was easy. God knew the truth. But he allowed the test, not to destroy Job, but to reveal the strength of his faith. God said, "Very well, everything he has is in your power, but do not touch the man himself." And so, the test began. On earth, Job was unaware of what was coming. It began like any other day. His children were gathered together in celebration. His servants were tending the animals. His home was filled with peace. Then suddenly, a messenger came running, breathless, terrified. "My lord, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were feeding nearby when suddenly raiders attacked. They stole the animals. They killed the servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you." Before Job could even speak, another messenger arrived. "My lord, fire fell from the sky. It burned the sheep. It destroyed the servants. I alone escaped to tell you." Then another messenger came. "The Chaldeans formed raiding parties. They took the camels. They killed the servants. I alone escaped." Job's heart pounded. His world was collapsing. But the worst was yet to come. One final messenger arrived, his face pale, his voice trembling. "My lord, your sons and daughters were gathered together. A mighty wind came from the wilderness. It struck the house. The house collapsed. They are all gone." Silence fell upon the earth. Everything Job loved, everything he built, everything he cherished was gone. In a single day, destroyed. His wealth was gone. His children were gone. His future was gone. Satan waited, watching, expecting Job to curse God, expecting him to break. But Job did something no one expected. He fell to his knees. He tore his robe, he shaved his head, and he bowed down to the ground, not in anger, not in hatred, but in worship. And Job said words that would echo through eternity. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Even in loss, even in pain, Job did not curse God. He remained faithful. And Satan was not finished. Once again, Satan stood before God. God asked, "Have you considered my servant Job? He still maintains his integrity." Satan replied with fury, "Skin for skin. A man will give everything he has for his own life. But stretch out your hand and strike his body, and he will curse you." God answered, "Very well, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life." The second test began. Soon, Job's body was struck with painful sores, from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. His skin burned, his flesh ached. He sat in ashes, broken, alone, in agony. He took a piece of broken pottery and scraped his wounds. Relief did not come. Pain did not leave. And then his wife spoke. She looked at her husband, the man who once had everything, now reduced to nothing. She said, "Do you still hold on to your faith? Curse God and die." But Job replied with wisdom, "You speak as a foolish person speaks. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Even now, even in suffering, Job did not sin. He did not curse God. His faith remained unshaken. Time passed. 3 of Job's friends came to see him. They saw his suffering. They saw his pain, and they wept. They sat with him in silence for 7 days, for his suffering was too great for words. Eventually, Job spoke. He cried out in sorrow. He questioned his pain. He wondered why he was suffering. He did not understand. He was faithful. He was righteous. Yet, he suffered. His friends began to speak. They accused him. They believed his suffering must be punishment. They believed he must have sinned. But Job knew his heart. He knew his faith was true. Still, he did not curse God. He cried, he questioned, he suffered, but he remained faithful. Then God spoke, not in anger, not in punishment, but in power. A mighty voice came from the whirlwind. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Can you command the morning? Can you control the seas? Can you create life?" Job realized something profound. God's wisdom was beyond human understanding. God's power was beyond human control. Job humbled himself. He said, "Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me. I repent in dust and ashes." God was pleased. Job's faith had been proven. His loyalty had been revealed. His love for God was real, not because of blessings, but because of faith. And then God restored Job. His health returned, his strength returned, his life returned. God blessed him with even greater wealth. He gave him more children, more prosperity, more peace. Job lived many more years. He saw his children and grandchildren. His story became a testimony of faith, a testimony of endurance, a testimony of trust. God tested Job, not to destroy him, but to reveal his faith. Job proved that true faith does not depend on blessings. True faith remains in suffering, even in loss, even in pain. Job's story reminds us of a powerful truth. Faith is strongest in the fire. Faith is proven in the storm. Faith is revealed in suffering. And those who remain faithful will never be forgotten. This is the story of Job, the man who lost everything but never lost his faith. His story lives forever in the pages of the Bible, and his name remains a symbol of faith. The faith of Job, unbreakable, unshakable, eternal.